Yeah.
And it made a huge difference in...
I noticed also it altered the way that I interact with people. Like, the more grateful I am, the less judgmental I was, and, like, honestly, the less of an asshole I was.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like if you're friends with me and you don't agree, I'm sorry, but I felt like I got nicer when I started, like, because you're being more mindful about how you treat people, because, like, if you're treated like shit, you don't want to treat other people like shit because you know how it feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you've been given.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think I'm just more aware now, too, of my place in the world, like, on a global scale. We are some of the wealthiest people in the world, and it doesn't feel like that all the time when you see celebrities and...
Sometimes I feel like if I wasn't born in the U.S., I would hate Americans.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I guess it depends where I was born, but, like, if I was born in, like, a pretty developed, like, European country or something, I would look at us and be like, they're so self-righteous.
I agree, and so greedy,
Yeah.
and so just... everything in this culture is so greedy.
Which is not, it's not, like, obviously representative or accurate of, like, American culture, but, like, I feel like that's a lot of times what people see from the outside, but, like, what we're actually given and what we have is, like...
I see it, too, especially, I was thinking about it a lot over Thanksgiving. Just how it's so ironic that we spend Thursday being thankful and grateful for everything, and then a lot of people go out on Friday and fight other people for discounts on material things that they don't need. It's ridiculous.
Oh, there's so much of that pomp and circumstance that surrounds shit like that. Like, what are you grateful for? I'm grateful for my family. And then you leave your family to go buy a bunch of shit for yourself. Well, most of them are gifts. Yeah. So, but no, I get what you mean.
But, and the whole Christmas season, too, just with all of the consumerism. I understand. It's for other people. I contribute. I do, too. And I also...
I participate in that.
I don't know where the economy would be without Christmas, honestly. It's such a huge boost. Even doing Amazon, I'm like... Probably like 50%.
I was going to say, did they go up in November, December?
Like, tripled what I had been doing previously.
I'm excited to see what it will look like next December, though, because, like, that could also have been the fact that you were gaining popularity after starting.
Well, and I sold out a few weeks before Christmas, so I could have been making a lot more sales if I had the inventory, and I would have made a lot more money, but I sold out. And so I am excited to be prepared this year and see the difference. But I'm contributing to mass consumerism, but it's fine.
I mean, you know who I work for. So do I.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do.
But anyways.
Was it about their cashierless store?
No, it was... No, but I have read about that. I read an article talking about how they're going to put, like, so many people out of... because they're thinking about selling that technology to other, like, retailers and putting so many people out of jobs, like cashiers out of jobs. Which, I don't know if we talked about this last episode or not, but, like, as technology grows, it does cut back on manual jobs like that, but it also increases jobs for people, like, the people who develop the technology. And
it'll be creative.
Yeah, and, like, the logistics people behind shipping them and setting them up and everything. Like, not everything can be done by tech. It just takes a different skill set. I actually watched Hidden Figures. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, but I need to. Well,
essentially, their job is what's called computers, and they do the calculations, like the menial calculations. But they get an IBM machine. I'm putting quotes around it because that's what they called it. It was just a giant computer that did all the calculations for them, which made them obsolete. And the girl, one of the girls found out that they were getting this machine and that it would make them obsolete. And so she went to the library and learned everything she could about programming and fixing that computer and taught it to all of the girls that work computers so that they all had those skills and knew how to fix it. And then they were forced to hire them on to work on that machine. Wow. So, like, you just have to learn to adapt with technology. Like, it sucks. Definitely. There's opportunity that comes with technology.
For sure. And with Amazon, like with what I do, Amazon is putting brick and mortar stores out of business, but then it's employing all of these people that can make a living from home now opening their stores on Amazon.
You.
Me. Well, I'm not making a living yet, but hopefully someday.
One day.
Yeah. Amazon's not going to be stopping anytime soon. We're not going to
they're so good at adapting.
Right.
And, like, coming out with stuff that...
If you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly. So. Yeah.
You've seen those stores that they open? Like, they have the grocery stores where you essentially, like, you sign into your thing and you just go and put groceries in your basket and then you leave.
Yeah, I saw articles about it. I know there's the one in Seattle. Is that the only one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I wonder is, how does it know? This is probably a stupid question with a very easy answer, but so if you walk into the store with a purse and you have like lip gloss and I don't know, hand sanitizer in your purse, when you leave, does it scan those items and think that you're trying to buy it, or does it?
I bet there's like sensors on the product that they sell in the store that once you leave, it like essentially like puts an X through that sensor and says like this has already been purchased.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
You're probably right. It's probably something really simple like that.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
I feel like it would make it really easy to shoplift, but you know.
It's
just my criminal brain.
I agree. I was thinking about that too, because what if you just walk in, don't log into your app,
and just take stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they have like systems, or I think it's like a
maybe they have
beta test right now.
It is.
So I think so. So I'm sure they're like working out those glitches and everything and figuring that all out.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it. I understand it reduces...
I hate waiting in line at the grocery store, so that would be a dream.
I do too, but I'm just picturing a world where there's less humans doing daily tasks
so much
like
less
that.
Human interaction.
Yeah,
so
and I don't know if I like that. I'm not a very social person, but
I hate people.
Even for me, that's...
Didn't I send you that snap last week or something? I had to walk to go get my eyebrows done, and it was just a picture of my face that just said, I hate people. I can't remember what made me... Someone did something that pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I agree. It would probably get freaky. Like, no one speaking to each other.
Yeah.
No meet cutes. How am I supposed to meet a man?
Exactly. Well, your coffee will be served to you by the same robot, so...
I feel like after a while, everyone would just, like, develop a tendency to keep their head down.
Yeah, exactly.
And not talk to anyone.
Yeah.
You know what that would contribute to? We're getting off on a huge tangent. We need to wrap this up. But, bystander effect. Mm-hmm. People, that's a big thing now. I read an article on it. Not an article, but I'm pretty sure I learned about it in school.
Yeah.
But, like, commenting on how it's become worse and worse over time because human interaction has gone down so much that people just, like, don't feel the need to step in because they don't feel the connection with their fellow humans. So, like, at that point, like, there would be criminals running amok, robbing people, and no one would do anything.
I just read online somewhere that empathy in general has gone way down with technology, and I didn't read the full article, but it's basically what you're saying. We're less empathetic towards other people because we're just more self-absorbed in our phones, and the connections we have with people online aren't in person, I guess. So it's harder to...
So the lesson that you learned today, kids, is to be grateful and for the people and the things around you.
And technology is bad, and we're all going to be killed by robots.
In technological hell.
Yeah.
Okay, and before we leave, we're going to cover our conspiracy corner for the day, which is the Mandela effect, which I'm sure you've heard about, because, like, everyone's heard about it. But, Lauren, take it away.
I will briefly explain why it's called the Mandela effect. So, basically, several years ago, a lot of people across the nation remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison. Well, it turned out he actually never died in prison, and he was still alive.
He was the president of South Africa. Damn it! I just sound like an idiot.
I don't know why all of these people vividly remember seeing newscasts or reading that he had died in prison.
Yeah.
He never died in prison. He was still alive. And so basically the Mandela effect is the phenomenon that it's a large group of people all remembering things to be one way when in reality it was never that way. It was something completely different. Another example of one is the Berenstain Bears.
Saw that.
You know this
one. You can essentially Google this, and there's like a bunch of examples of it, but continue.
There are lots of examples, but this example, everyone remembers the Berenstain Bears, the children's book series, as Berenstain with Stein.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually the Berenstain Bears when you go back and look at your old books with an A. Stain.
Spooky.
Right. So a lot of people just are baffled because they remember it as Berenstain and it's actually Berenstain. So it's basically all these people remembering things one way when it was actually never that way.
And a lot of people, I feel like, don't believe in it and they think it's like bullshit, but I'm sorry, alternate universes and string theory is a real thing.
Exactly. That's one of the theories that is behind the Mandela effect, is that we were in an alternate universe. We were in an E universe, hence Berenstain, and now we've shifted to an A universe, which is why it's Berenstain.
I wonder why some people remember it that way. So does it explain that?
A lot of people remember it.
Does it explain?
What do you mean?
But like, does it explain why only some people remember it that way? Or why only some people remember the difference?
I have never seen anyone say they remembered it as Berenstain.
I don't even know what that is, so I can't comment on that.
Okay.
And I wasn't old enough to remember Nelson Mandela, so...
I do remember it being Berenstain.
Oh, really?
I watched the TV show, and I read the books as a kid.
Well, folks, you have it here. Direct evidence that someone...
Exactly. Also, I have my own personal example of the Mandela effect. This is going to be so weird, but...
We're not nuts, we promise.
We're not. But we have shifted into an alternate universe, so that just, accept it. Anyway, there's this candy called Maple Nut Goodies.
Never heard of them.
Okay, so they used to be my favorite thing when I was little. And it's kind of this old-fashioned candy that you would get like at Rural King in those clear plastic bags. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't grow up here, and I hate Rural King. Continue.
So like it's an old-fashioned candy, and I used to eat it all the time when I was little. It was my favorite. And I swear, I remember they were chewy candies.
Okay.
And so recently, this past year, whenever I would go into a store and see it, I would always buy a bag because they were my favorite when I was little. And every bag I bought last year was crunchy. And I swear they were never
Maybe they just changed the formula.
That's what I thought too. And so I bought like 3 different brands. They were all crunchy. Why would they all 3 change their formulas? I don't know.
Or maybe there was like something that was like deadly in the gooey or whatever you said, chewy formula, and so they tried to sweep it under the rug, and so people didn't know about it and just made them all crunchy.
It could be.
There are explanations. Or
the simplest explanation is that we've just shifted into an alternate universe.
The simplest explanation.
I don't know. Or I'm just crazy and I don't remember it right. Like, it could have been crunchy the entire time.
I think stuff like that all the time. Like, people try to tell me I just remembered it differently, but like sometimes I swear up and down, like, no, that is how I remembered it, and then they show me something and they are right. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But anyways, so fun fact for the day that relates somewhat to what we talked about today. According to Chicago University's Booth Business School, woo, rep Chicago, the feeling you get from checking Twitter can create the same temporary high or buzz as a cigarette break. So, put your phones down and focus on being grateful.
Exactly. Or you could look at it as, well, my smartphone is keeping me from taking up smoking, so... I'm just kidding.
I don't know if that's better,
I'm
but
just
sure.
kidding. I don't know if it's better because... Okay, one last thing.
Okay.
I read an article last month.
We're just full of facts today.
All about technology, but I read an article last month that your phones actually give off a small amount of radiation, and it can actually cause cancer in large enough amounts. So whenever you can, you should, first of all, never sleep with your phone right next to you. It should always be an arm's length away.
It's always right by my head. Sometimes under my pillow.
Don't do that anymore. And under your pillow, especially, terrible. So it should be an arm's length away, so put it on your bedside table. And if you can, put it in a backpack or a purse, not in your pocket, because then it's right up against you, and you're always getting the radiation. Obviously we're still learning about the effects because we've never had smartphones been attached to our devices like
right, we're guinea pigs. Like, our old age is going to look a lot different, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, wrapping